fake it to counter. Now Murray. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Towards the end zone for Brown. And that is caught by Brown for a Cardinal touchdown. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. Pulls it in at the 13. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. Watson now to throw. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick, and the Cardinals are going to take possession of the football. So Charles already down 7-0 early. They opt to take a shot there on the first play of scrimmage, but that plan backfires.
That feels a little bit like last week's loss lingering into this game, doesn't it? You know, you're down 7 already. You lost last week. It's almost like they were trying to get it all back in one shot, trying to take a big chunk play right out of the gate.
First carry for James Conner. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Now Murray. He'll get this complete to Rondale Moore. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. And a nice milestone reached on that last throw as here late in the season, he goes over 4,000 yards passing. And he's really thrown the ball well all season long. Had some big games along the way. He's inspired his receiving corps to go out and make plays for him in each and every ball game. And he'll just get rid of it. So, Charles, this defense, they definitely know that they've got their hands full here going up against a group that has won 7 straight. What's the key for them in this ball game? Well, we asked their defensive coordinator that very question, and the response was, we have the mindset that they actually have to react to us, not the other way around. So it sounds to me like the plan is to do the attacking and not wait to see what they present to them. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. That winds up pushing it back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd. Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And complete to Zach Ertz. So the completion results there on 9 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Nick Folk now on for the field goal. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. Folk's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal. And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal. So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level. From the 27, Watson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
After the turnover, here's Murray. And this will be swung out here for counter. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. Throwing again on second down. Murray, he's going deep for Brown. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want, because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. The former ASU Sun Devil, Eno Benjamin with it. And this won't be enough. Stopped a yard short after a gain of 3. 4th down.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
They're going for it. It's Murray. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. The Cardinals unable to convert there on 4th down. And this Browns defense stands tall. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at the 34. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
And this is going to be intercepted. John Johnson with the INT. And the Brownsons are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. Charles, one thing that he referenced to us yesterday was his confidence fitting the ball into any window, but obviously that window was a little too tight, and it was closing in a hurry.
And he was talking to us about having anticipation in making those types of throws. Down near the goal line, I don't think you can anticipate it as much as you need to see it open. You've got to be precise with your throws down here in the red zone. That one goes into double coverage, and he gets picked off.
The Browns drive about to get started. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb, and he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Watson. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Trayvon Mullen. And the Cards are going to take possession of the football. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. Had excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6. They fake the handoff. Now Murray. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards. Well, on that one, they go with a play fake, CD, but I don't think anybody really was fooled. All eyes were fixated on the quarterback, and they got him to the ground.
And to run this play successfully, you've got to make sure that everyone is doing their part. You actually have to sell this play. You've got to sell the run action. Otherwise, why do you stop at the running back? You just run straight for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Down inside the 10. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
On the run is Benjamin. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Connor diving for the end zone, and he'll get there. Touchdown. So the rushing touchdowns continue to stack up, CD. That now 15 for him on the year.
And give him a ton of credit for staying healthy, being a smart runner, and it's showing just how important he's been to his team. He's got to be their MVP at this point in the season, and those votes may have been turned into league MVP votes when it's all said and done.
Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. From just inside the 20, a short kick. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they are losers of 2 straight coming into this Thursday night game. Is it more difficult, CD, when you take a losing streak into a quick turnaround game like this?
It certainly is, because you don't get time to work on the issues that you've had throughout the season that caused you to have the record that you're having. You can't really get those set. So now you're trying to minimize those and maximize what you've been doing well. And I remember a game recently where one of the assistant coaches said to the head coach, forget our running back rotation. This guy has a hot hand, and they rode him to a victory. Those are things you have to look out for in games like this.
Now Cade York for the extra point. And it's 17-7. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And listen, these Thursday night games, they're tough on the body. You just played on Sunday, 72 hours later. Hey, it's game day again, but I have to think a Thursday night game in September much more preferable than a Thursday nighter in December, no?
No, there's no doubt about it. You mentioned how tough it is on the body. How about the mind? You're already tired, fatigued, right? Trying to battle for playoff spots, and here you have the quick turnaround. Now, the flip side is, if you take care of business, win that Thursday nighter, you go into a mini open week. Gives you a few extra days to heal up the body and the mind before you play your next game. So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble. It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. A lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
And a missed tackle there as he pushes forward for a gain of 4.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle. That's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
From the 16, Murray. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. And the Browns will take over here just shy of the 30.
Absolutely a golden opportunity missed there to add to their lead and really cap off an impressive drive because they've got the advantage and plenty of time to add to it. But on the flip side, plenty of time for an opposing comeback as well. So when you have the chance to distance yourself and not pitch so early, partner, you know you don't want to let it slip away.
The Browns drive about to get started. They come in off a touchdown drive. The last time they had the ball, that cut down the lead. Now the defense does their part, got them the football back.
So now maybe with the touchdown they scored previously, plus their defense making that stand up and getting the ball right back, momentum may be shifting in their favor.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down. The Browns at 8-7, a game over 500 on the year. They come in losers of 2 straight, so trying to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. After the run, Watson going to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to get them the football, but you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6. Murray now to throw. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes. His after arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand. And that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
On is the punter Charlton now as he's able to get this one away. This is taken at the 18. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. A nice run back there off the good punt. It's a 16-yard return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Here's Watson. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get.
And now here's another interception. Picked off by Byron Murphy. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Play action. Now it's Murray. Ertz has it left side. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Zach Ertz, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Folk connects on the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. From just inside the 20, a short kick. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Browns drive about to get started. I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. To throw is Watson. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the...
And my goodness, another interception. Buda Baker with a pick. And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown. On for the extra point is Folk. And the lead is now 24.
Makes the score Cardinals 31, Browns 7.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. From just inside the 20, a short kick. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help.
And now here is another interception. Picked up by Marco Wilson. And the Cardinals will take over here at their own 14-yard line. Well, Charles, you're so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, Might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Taken at the 15. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Cardinals have got it, going the other way. And this drive will start on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. So they take the deficit into the lockers. You know they had plans to receive the football. A nice drive, instead a fumble on the kickoff.
And that can be demoralizing right there because, as you pointed out, they had designs on coming out and, okay, we're going to change things here in the second half. Instead, with a deficit already, they cough it up, and now they've got to find a way to keep the score from mounting bigger against them.
To throw again on second down, Murray. And he'll go right back to Moore. Complete again. Touchdown! Rondale Moore, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Cardinals are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Folk. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. Pulls it in at the 13.
The Browns take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
And all the way in, touchdown, Cleveland. They've done a good job of holding him down in the first half, but he explodes for a big one right there.
Yeah, I've got an image in my head of him being surrounded by a bunch of people, really, with ropes and other things trying to keep him locked in. But eventually they got tired, too. And just as you noted, he broke out.
And it's a guy that usually you can only keep down for so long. And the Cardinals' hands team able to secure the football. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. Let's go. Now Murray off play action. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on second.
Well, this certainly feels like complimentary football to me, partner, because the momentum from the team's touchdown drive looks like it's made its way over to the defense. They're working together in tandem now. Offense gets in the end zone. Defense with a big sack on the first play of the following drive.
Meanwhile, Murray's throw here complete into the hands of Ertz. Takes this to the 45. Broken tackle. Bought him a little extra space. Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Murray with a third and long. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And oh, it'll be intercepted. picked off by Greg Newsome. And the Browns are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
They run again on first down, Chubb. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. 108 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up third.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the third quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. And the punt will kick out of bounds, and it'll be spotted inside the 30-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do.
And this drive is almost over before it began, thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Out of the gun, here's Murray. He's going deep for Brown. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. Here comes the Cardinals punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Cleveland offense ready to go. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to...
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it, and the Cardinals have got it going the other way. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Well, if these guys wanted to get back in this game, they needed an almost perfect second half, and down 3 scores. A lost fumble here certainly doesn't fit into that plan.
That reminds me of my plan in college to get an A on the papers I turned in, but that didn't work out too well either. Too many mistakes by both of us. I mean, that's just pure and simple. And that's why that's exactly where they are in this ball game. They're going to need a huge turnaround if they want to try and win this one. And these are the situations that really test a defense, those sudden changes. They're already inside field goal range to start the possession. Their goal now, keep it to a long kick if indeed they end up trying one.
On the ground, Benjamin. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Murray a give. This is counter. And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22. A Cardinal first down on a gain of 13.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Murray now on first down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Myles Garrett racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Murray, and he's got the hook up to Moore. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. On play action, it's Murray. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, the connection they've had has been excellent today, but not on that snap. I think he was asking just a little too much as he extended that play, hoping for one more completion with it.
Folk's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So they got the turnover, started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. Goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
The Browns drive about to get started. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. They go counter with Breida. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. Give him 6 on the run. It'll be third down now with still a long way to go to get to the first down marker.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
The offense on third down tonight, not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. He's going to have the hook up to Schwartz. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. Desperation time. Watson on 4th down. He's going to air one out. And that's caught inside the 35. And he's got this all the way down to the 5-yard line. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. On the defensive side of the ball, that's the definition of frustrated. You get them to 4th down, and then you allow a chunk play like that in the passing game.
Almost felt as if that play was drawn up in the dirt on the sideline. They pulled that from a game plan that wasn't this game, and they still made it work.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Chubb again, pushing for the end zone, but he's not going to get there. They stop him just shy of the goal line. Running for it, here's Chubb, and he takes this one in for a Brown score. Nick Chubb, his 11th rushing touchdown on the year, and the Browns get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Looking to maybe throw for it here, Watson. And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Cardinals' hands team able to secure the football. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Throwing on first down is Murray. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Hopkins. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Well, fourth quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook.
Touchdown, Cardinals! James Conner with career touchdown number 75. And the Cardinals extend this fourth quarter lead, and they are getting closer and closer to win number 11. So definitely a good day's work throwing the football. Very good day's work. A 4th touchdown pass as they're really pouring it on.
Yeah, and so much for going into clock mode after getting that touchdown, right? Because you would think with the lead, fourth quarter, they might actually do that. No chance. They've kept attacking and got another touchdown pass as a result.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. But this game well in hand. Perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Marco Wilson. And the Cards force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. Count them now, 6 interceptions between last week and this week. Now, the 3 picks last week helped them to a win. They're in the driver's seat once more.
And they're the ones that are doing all the leading, aren't they? Right? The 3 interceptions last week, that led to a victory. 3 interceptions so far in this game, that has them out in front. We often think of the offense driving things. In this case, it's the defense, not just holding teams, but creating big plays for themselves.
Murray's throw pulled in by Hopkins. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. He's going deep for Brown. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Murray. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And the Cardinals are going to take possession of the football. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it was against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
He'll get this to his running back, Benjamin.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess? He didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up. But he certainly will have some explaining to do.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds they've had.
He's got a man complete. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his 2nd miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Cardinals hands team able to secure the football. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
Back to throw it, Murray. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Hopkins. Knocks over another. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Here's Murray. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. And this is picked up by the Browns. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Hey, we can praise ball security all we want here, but how about that effort on defense? Excellent job inside the red zone. Just took away at least 3 points by forcing that fumble.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Trayvon Mullen. And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown.
Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping they're holding a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
But I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
From just inside the 20, a short kick. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Watson. And now here is another interception. Jalen Thompson picks it, and the Cards are going to take possession of the football. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Murray's going to look to throw this thing. He's going to look deep for more. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by John Johnson. And the Browns are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line. That is now 5 interceptions that he has thrown in this ball game. If I asked you to speculate what's possibly going on in his head, what would you say?
Well, if he's as mentally strong as I believe he is, he understands that not all of these picks have been his fault. You know, some of the throws, yes, but there have been a good number of them where he hasn't been helped by his own receivers, and they've turned into interceptions. So he knows if he keeps firing, perhaps good things can happen, not just in this game, but especially in later ones.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. One last throw here for Watson. And he will find his man Schwartz. That's complete. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And a little bit of a consolation prize there. He's into the end zone. Won't win him the game, but they do get the score with all zeros showing.
But some fantasy players are really happy with that score.
Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there. So they tried to tack on 2 more. Wouldn't have mattered as far as who won and who lost, but that's how this one ends.
Felt like cosmetics, didn't it? Just put another 2 points on the board, make the score look a little bit better. Maybe they wanted to run a 2-point conversion just to see what they had. Who knows? But it just wasn't necessary.
So for the Cardinals, they get an important win here to move to 11-5 on the year. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, they lose a potentially season-crushing ball game as they fall to 8-8 with 1 game still to come. And they will look to turn it around next time out.